this is a channel that I've built in 6 weeks with only 2 hours a day. I've gone from 0 views a video to 20,000 views a video, and you can do it too. This time constraint is actually our superpower. When you constrain your time within a smaller block, your effectiveness goes up. So to pick the right things to do, we have to figure out the 80-20 of YouTube. Well, making content is number one, but that's not all that matters. Anybody can publish and make random videos on the internet. You need a process or a system to make the content and iterate and improve on it over time. And that is what matters. So this iteration process is not linear, it's not planned, and it can't be. When I first started, I thought that I could take every YouTube course out there. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars because I thought that you could get a roadmap that could get you from being a total beginner to making millions and millions on YouTube. But you know what? It was all a waste of money. As soon as I made a little progress, the roadmap just fell apart. And that's because everybody is different. So instead of a roadmap, I believe in taking one step at a time. You plan step one, you do step one, then you tinker, you reflect on it, what went well, what didn't, and then you continue to the next step, and the next step, and the next step. So if making the content is number one, how do we know what content to make? And that is why we're gonna look at figuring out our audience. Now, other creators are gonna go and tell you to sit for hours and hours and hours and think about a niche, and think about an avatar, which is the person that you're talking to. My philosophy, on the other hand, is to start publishing videos, and you'll figure that out as you go. After spending that much money on courses and everything, with 100% certainty, I can say that doing YouTube is going to get you better results and improve at YouTube faster than thinking or learning about YouTube. On the topic of niches though, I have done that in the past. My 800K sub channel is all about mechanical keyboards, and picking a niche is a really dang good way to get yourself pigeonholed into one category and stay trapped there forever and not be able to escape. I actually prefer the avatar route myself, but it takes time to figure that out. Now, if you are interested in figuring that out, a really easy tip for educational creators, if you're talking about problems that you solved in the past, is to target the you 3 to 4 years ago, because you know that person really well. And if you want to go in depth, I have a free Notion template linked down below with 20 questions to ask yourself to figure out your avatar. But if you look at that list and you feel too overwhelmed and it's bogging you down and it's stopping you from making content, then just delete it. The great part is, right now, you are free to explore. You can try different topics, ideas, styles, and eventually you'll click with something. So we figured out our audience. Now it's time to go into the process of what making good content even looks like. I had no idea about this when I started. I had it quite backwards. I would make a video that I thought was super dang awesome, and I would do the whole thing. I would film it, edit it, have it exported and done. Then I would slap a thumbnail and title together, and then out into the YouTube ether it went. And a week later and a month later, it would flop, and I would be like, why? I worked so hard on that video. Looking back at it, it's because I didn't follow the process. The order matters, and our process is in this order, and it starts with the idea, the title, the thumbnail, the hook, then the valuable content that you put in there, whether you script or use bullet points, that's on you, and that's how you perform. Then after all that, you can film, then edit, then ship it. So with only 2 hours a day, how do I split up the time between each task in order to get the most leverage? Because that's a lot of tasks. But I work 1 to 2 hours a day. I make sure that it's very, very, very focused work without distractions. So the first step is the idea, the ideation phase. I spend about 10 to 15 minutes on idea generation every day. Really like to take inspiration from Medium, Reddit, and X right now. Written content has a much lower barrier of entry than video content. So written content iterates so much faster. So you know if it outperforms in written content, if you make that idea in video content, it's gonna perform really well. Hopefully it performs really well. That's the idea. And the thing I added to is the ideation brain dump on a Notion page. It's just a list of copied down ideas. Stealing like an artist. Next, the idea goes through a filter called Will Elizabeth Be Interested? If she is, I'll move forward. If she isn't, axe it. I'll come up with 10 titles, and usually the idea itself is a title variation, and with that you can play with the word arrangement, play with synonyms, try ChatGPT for different phrases or different words that I could use, but usually it's a waste of time. If I really don't have any ideas, still I'll go to my swipe file that I collect titles and thumbnails that I really like from other creators and other niches, and I'll go there and try to Frankenstein something together, and then I'll do the thumbnail. So for the thumbnail, I like to lay 10 to 15 thumbnails on YouTube that I've seen that I like, and then I'll sketch a couple ones. I will only make like 1 to 2 in Photoshop because Photoshop takes time. It's time to move on to the video. I'm gonna come up with a hook. And there are a few different types of hooks that I sort of just fall back upon. And one is like the "this is" hook, which has done really well for me in the past. So if I were to make a "this is" hook for this video, it would be like, this is a channel that I've built in 6 weeks with only 2 hours a day. And you can do it too. That sort of sounded really good. There are other hook types. So you can do it like a question. You can do a statement that will pique curiosity or question someone's beliefs already, makes them interested. And you can tell a story. So I've used all these hooks in the past. They clicked on a specific title and thumbnail. Now they want you to say, yes, this is what you came here for. I will now talk about these topics. Then it's time for the content. So I brain dump everything I have on the idea. So I'll just bullet point, enter, brain dump everything. No judgment on what comes out. You nurture your creativity, you let it flow. So scripting, I limit myself to 2 hours. And as I script, I'm typically reading it out loud and editing as I go. If you just read it in your head, when it's time to say the thing, it will come out wrong or off or weird, or you'll stumble, and it's like not your speaking voice. And if you're new to scripting, I'll link you to a film booth video down below that's helped me immensely. A question that I like to ask myself when I'm scripting is a video clear? Can I timestamp it into individual sections? Can someone watch the video, scroll past huge sections, and still be able to get value out of this video? So once this is all done, I will do like a rehearsal where I have all the gear and stuff, and I'll just make sure it comes out right. I currently edit myself, but I really do want to outsource this. This is the first thing that I will outsource typically because it takes so much time. So if you're editing and you're short on time, the main thing that I do is I focus on the first 1 to 3 minutes really heavily, and the rest of it, I'll just cut out the silences and pauses and maybe add a little text. Software that I use is called Recut. It cuts out the pauses and silences instantly like that. It is a one-time fee, no subscription. I'm not sponsored, but there's an affiliate link for $10 off. So after editing, I'll publish the video with timestamps and a description and then ship it out into the world, and that's it. That is the whole process. But in the end, just do what works for you. You don't have to copy me. I don't expect you to. So my first time doing this, I did not make it this complicated. It's taken me 10 videos to make it this complicated. Remember that the process is what you're focusing on. The outcomes, the views, the subs, the money, that will come in time. If you improve the process, your content automatically gets better, and then everything else will follow. But if you're completely new to YouTube, like, it's enough to know the order in which to do things and to follow that order, but don't stress on it. If any of this makes you not want to make videos, then just forget about it. Erase that this video even existed in your mind. Just go and make videos. Make 10 to 20 videos before you systematize anything, and then you can come back. Then you can start systematizing and start iterating on your process. So your strengths and weaknesses are going to determine what to work on first. So I want you to look at your videos objectively while you do this next exercise. Pretend to be someone else and rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1, does the packaging of my videos get people to click? Is it intriguing? Does it inspire curiosity? 2, do my hooks get people to keep watching? Does it confirm why they clicked on the title and thumbnail? 3, is my script valuable and helpful? Does it flow? Does it have a structure that makes sense? 4, are my ideas exciting, new, and easy? Will the person watching feel like they could watch my video and actually change their life? 5, is my appearance on camera confident? Am I stumbling on my words? 6, isn't my editing good enough? Are there long pauses of silence where nothing is happening? Are there visual elements that support what I'm saying? And 7, is my audio decent? Is my camera quality 1080p? Is my lighting okay? So if you rank below 3 out of 10 in any category, take the lowest skill and work on that for the next 2 to 3 videos. To really get ahead of other creators, lean into what makes you unique. That will be your unfair advantage over the competition. Instead of being a 5 out of 6 across the board, because that's just an average creator, lean into what you excel at the most and make it a 12 out of 10 or 13 out of 10, and that will just put you so much farther than average creators. So I really like this quote by billionaire investor Naval, and it says, become the best in the world at what you do. Keep redefining what you do until this is true. Now, if you have a hard time finding 1 to 2 hours a day to work on your YouTube channel, then check out my 14 habits to save 20+ hours a week right here. So keep growing and keep creating.